Hey guys, today I decided to film a video all about my face. I did this because I think it's important to know how to get a full coverage face, and a lot of times when you do put foundation on, it can kind of create sort of a flat effect. So I did show how I kind of put on my bronzer and powders and everything so that my face doesn't look so flat, but it still is nice and covered up. Otherwise, if you want to see how I got my flawless foundation, just keep watching. To get started, I always like to use a moisturizer. Today I'm using the Simple Moisturizer and the Garnier Eye Cream. I've talked about this in my favorites before. Then I'm going to prime my skin using Maybelline Baby Skin Primer. This just does a good job of kind of filling in the pores and giving me more of a smooth surface to work with. After I've applied my primer, I'm going to use this Pixi Corrector. This does a really good job of canceling out the blueness underneath my eyes, and as you can see, it makes a pretty big difference.
Let's fly where we used to run. Let's go where we've never gone. Let's dream what we've never done and make a road where there wasn't one. Let's fly. Let's fly. Let's fly.
Then I'm going to move on to foundation, and like I said in my intro, I'm going to be using the L'Oreal True Match Foundation in W2, and I'm also going to be adding in a little bit of W3 because W2 tends to be a little bit too light, but together they kind of create the perfect match.
We'll see how deep the ocean goes. Stand on the edge of the unknown when I'm with you.
Then I'm going to be taking a stipple brush. I talked about this in my favorites. This is a really cheap brush I got on Amazon, and I'm going to be focusing on stamping this on my face. Not so much brushing or buffing, but that's how I get the best and most full coverage, is just kind of by stippling it on all over my face.
Let's fly. Let's fly where we used to run, where we used to run.
When I get to the perimeter of my face, I saw this technique on Lauren Curtis' channel. She kind of like creates a double chin, and it helps to sort of blur that foundation line that no one wants to have, and then I'll kind of just bring as much foundation as I have left over down onto my neck.
Let's go where we've never gone. Let's dream what we've never done and make a road where there wasn't one. Let's fly. Let's fly. Let's fly where we used to run, where we used to run. Let's fly. Let's fly. Let's fly where we used to run, where we used to run.
Now that we've created kind of a blank canvas to work with, I'm going to go back in and highlight underneath my eyes, first using the Maybelline Age Rewind concealer in Fair, and then going over it with the Maybelline Luby concealer in Ivory. Both of these provide pretty decent coverage, but I like the finish that I get by mixing both. And I'm going to be applying the concealer in an upside down triangle underneath my eyes, on the bridge of my nose, Cupid's bow, chin, and my forehead, all the places that I kind of want to highlight. And it's okay to be kind of heavy-handed with this because I'm going to be using a damp beauty blender to blend it out, and that kind of helps to soak up any excess concealer that I might have gotten carried away with. As I'm using the beauty blender, I'm not pushing it super hard against my skin. I'm kind of just letting it bounce off naturally. I don't want to pull a lot of the concealer off of my face that I just put on. So I'm just going to do that all over in the places where I used concealer.
Fences, all my defenses, I lay down this armor.
Setting my concealer is an absolute must for me. It helps it not to crease, and it helps it to last a lot longer. This is a Wet n Wild single eyeshadow in crème brulee, and it's the perfect color just to kind of further brighten and prolong the wear of my concealer.
To make this right.
Next, I am going to set my foundation because I do tend to get kind of oily, and this is e.l.f.'s HD translucent powder. I really like this powder. It's so finely milled that not only does it obviously prolong the wear of my foundation, but it also sort of creates like a poreless effect. And I'm just using a Real Techniques blush brush to kind of tap that all over my face. Then I'm going to be using NYC bronzer in Sunny Bronze to contour, and this is an e.l.f. blush brush that I'm going to be using to kind of carve out my cheekbones, bones, and then I'm also going to be using that large fluffy brush again to kind of warm up my face.
Before we both lose this fight, take my defenses, all my defenses. I lay down this armor.
Then I'm going to move on to blush. This is an e.l.f. single blush, and I can't remember the color, but an Up and Up blush brush. And I'm going to be using that to kind of dab slightly above where I contoured, and also bring it down onto the apples of my cheeks. Next is highlighting. This is probably my favorite step of makeup. It just creates such a beautiful glow on your cheeks, and especially after I've applied all this powder, I tend to kind of look sort of matte, and this helps to bring back some life into my face. So I'm going to be doing that on the very tops of my cheekbones, on my nose, Cupid's bow, chin, and then you are all good to go. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe if you'd like to see some more videos.